Hi everyone! Today we're talking about how to resign. What are the best practices and how should you get into that conversation? What to say, what not to say. Do and don'ts. Well, first of all, let's be honest. Resigning is stressful. Telling your boss that you're quitting, it can be stressful for a variety of reasons. One, maybe you're out of practice. You haven't done it in a long time or you haven't done it at all. The other reason is you have a great relationship with your boss and you don't want to burn bridges. Or you are in a mix of a big deal with a lot of money attached to it. And if you walk out the door, you're going to lose all that revenue. And you want to maybe negotiate a different deal with your employer so that you can retain some of that revenue. And last but not least, maybe you're feeling guilty. You have either hired a number of people to work for you, or you have agreed with your boss on a very important business plan. Well, let's face it, you're walking out the door now. So let's talk now about do and don'ts and what you can control when you get to that conversation that, by the way, could be in person or over the phone. Well, first of all, one of my recommendations is to get into a mindset where you're going to manage your own emotions no matter what. It is certainly your job to do that. It's not your job to manage your boss' emotions, but it is your job to manage your own. What I mean by that is that this is not your moment to shine by ranting or complaining about all the times that you didn't get what you thought you deserved, and show that now finally you got recognized by someone else. This is also holds true in terms of managing your own emotions when you might feel attacked or challenged as you explain that you're leaving. Which is get us to what to say. My recommendation is keep your story consistent, keep it simple. And in this case, less is more. And the story could be as simple as, I am here to resign. I'm excited about another opportunity and I wanted to thank you for all your sponsorship and mentorship and your support throughout these years. That's all what you have to say. Because in the moment you start explaining more why are you leaving and all the differences between the two platforms or whatever it is that you feel so compelling to share, you actually open the door for your manager to challenge you in your thinking. And this can lead to a very long conversation and a very contentious conversation. This is not what you want in that moment. So what to share, what not to share, let's dig into this a little bit more. My recommendation is not to share the details of the offer that you have received. You heard me saying this in other videos. You also can decide of not sharing the name of the firm where you're going to. You can say I'm leaving for a competitor in a similar role, or I'm leaving for a different role at a firm that is not a competitor. Unless your contract, your employment contract obligates you to share the name of the firm you're going to, it's really your decision. One other thing that is very important as you get into your conversation is to be decisive. Well, let's be honest, if you are a high-performing employee, there is a very high chance that your manager will try to retain you in any possible way. Maybe they're going to give you a better title, maybe they're going to offer you a better compensation package, or maybe they're going to make it very hard for you to explain why you're leaving and they're trying to challenge your decision in any possible way. Well, first of all, they're doing their job, so keep that in mind. Retaining someone that is good, it's their job. Well, what should you do in that moment? Well, first of all, be decisive and continue to stick to your story. Thank them for clearly their point of view or what they're trying to do. You made your decision and this is your last day. Of course, you're happy to transition any kind of business or help in the transition, but you made your decision. Sometimes I see candidates that they feel the situation gets very heated and instead decide to look open-minded and maybe push the final decision to a later moment when they think that the conversation maybe is going to be easier. Well, my recommendation is not to do that, because what's going to happen is that your manager or your boss in general is going to try to secure all the things that he or she has promised to you during your resignation, and now they're going to come back to you with a new package, and as you're going to turn them down again, well, the chances are that they're going to be really upset, and that one is on you. So be decisive, regardless of how overwhelming the situation might be in the moment. Last but not least, be grateful. Regardless of how you feel in the moment you're going to resign, be grateful and thank your manager and your team for all the sponsorship, mentorship that you might have received throughout your career at the firm. I believe that great people give you memories and bad people give you lessons, both of which are invaluable. Well, I hope you find these tips valuable, and if you're curious to learn more about other tips, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to access my booklet with the top candidate tips.